Go ahead and call to order the special city council meeting of Monday, November 3rd at 5:30 p.m. City clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Mayor Hasselbrink?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dovey?
Here.
Councilmember Hibbert?
Here.
Councilmember Lowe?
Here.
Councilmember Nafolda?
Here.
All right, oral communications. At this time, any individual in the audience may come forward to speak about any item described on the agenda prior to the council's consideration of that item pursuant to the Brown Act, section 54954.3b. Remarks are limited to items described in the notice for the meeting. Remarks are to be limited to not more than 3 minutes per speaker. And after all that, does anyone who wants to speak? Apparently not. So we'll go ahead and go to special orders of the day. I believe, Chet, that's yours?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm actually going to ask Director Noda to give a short presentation.
Dr. Noda.
Right. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. So item 4A is agreement with the Kaya Group for the Community Center 2 project. So the remodel of the Los Alamitos Community Center 2, formerly known as the Youth Center, will transform the building into a multi-purpose space that includes space for recreation, community services, classes, rentals. It will also be served as our city council chambers and other community meetings such as Planning Commission, Parks, Recreation, Culture, Arts Commission, etc. And it will also serve as our Emergency Operations Center, EOC. The City Council may, by resolution, determine that the project work can be completed by authorizing the work be performed by the Kaya Group under the California Multiple Award Schedule, the CMAS, in accordance with Section 1206, Contract of Public Works of the Los Alamitos City Charter. The reason for this process is to, for several reasons. One is to make, so we're under a time frame for the project because we're hoping to start this call for the special meeting later this month. And so we have a quick turnaround because we want our goal is to finish the project before summer of 26. That's when the Recreation Community Services summer programming is very, very impactful, and the need for the building for programs such as day camp, parks program, of course, increased contract classes, senior programming is needed. So again, that's one of the reasons why we call this special meeting, and to again utilize the CMAS contract. Throughout the process for using the CMAS contract, we did go out there and ask for an informal bid from another vendor, which the bid came up higher than what the Kaya Group has provided us. So it shows that we're in the right direction. Another reason why we wanted to use the Kaya Group was because they did the renovation for Community Center 1. So they're very, they're experienced in terms of the possible challenges that we're going to meet with an original building from the 1970s. As council may recall, when we did the Community Center 1 remodel, every time we opened up a door, a wall, or something like that, we found a problem, right, and stuff. And so we might anticipate the same type of problem. And secondly, we want the building to be exactly the same. So we're using the like-for-like material. We're not using similar material. We're using the exact same roofing material, the exact same paint, exact same flooring, etc. Okay. So again, according to our charter, through resolution, the city manager can execute an agreement in a form approved by the city attorney. And also at the same time, we're asking for council to authorize the city manager or designee to approve any project-related costs in terms of contingency. Let's see, that's basically the highlight of the report. I am here for any questions. Thank you.
Mayor, before we proceed, I do want to say just that the amount of work that Ron and his team have done over the last, call it 6 to 8 months in order to get us to this point is nothing short of amazing, quite frankly. And I do think that having partners like Kaya allow us to move a lot faster. The other part that has kind of gone unsaid here is a bid will require us to take another 6 to 12 months in order to go out to bid, which obviously means that we're going to hit this we'll miss this development window, but also things are costing more, not less in the future, has been our experience in the past. And so the ability to put this together quickly and to find a certified vendor that can actually do the work, because they've already done it once for us. Again, my hat's off to the DS team for what they've done in order to get this thing ready for your consideration tonight.
Okay, thank you. I just had one quick question for clarification. In the resolution, items 3 and 4, the difference is just the 25% contingency? So from the 3,000,004 to the 4,000,006?
That is correct.
Okay, perfect. So it's not 3 million and then another 4 million, okay.
So the total of the project will be approximately $4.6 million.
Right, and the contingency,
It's included in that 4.6.
right, and we might not use the contingency.
That is,
Okay, perfect.
we
Okay.
hope so.
Okay. Any questions from my colleagues up here?
I have one.
Uh-huh.
City manager, how does this compare to, I guess it's like Community Center 1, the cost of Community Center 1 versus Community Center 2?
So I'll let Ron go into just the details of that, but a lot of the materials and a lot of the, I'll call it the overall fixings, will be exactly the same. The one component that's different from the first building, is that this will have a lot more tech involved and integrated into the system, because it's gonna have an EOC, and it'll have an emergency generator that's hooked up to the building as well. This will actually constitute a honest-to-God emergency operations center, as opposed to what we have today. So those components are in addition and didn't actually go into the first building. The nice thing is we were able to actually go and secure a grant from then Congresswoman Steele in order to help offset that cost. And I want to say that that was 300 and
A little over about 350.
yeah. So the nice thing about that is we're able to actually take the cost of those fees, the wirings and what have you, and use them both for the city council chamber upgrade and the EOC upgrade. So we're able to almost double dip on those as well. But Ron, if you have some more
So-
insight.
City Manager Simmons stated it very well, but I want to add that Community Center 1 was an aesthetic improvement change. So there was no demolition of walls, no ADA compliancy for the most part. But there was some, but it wasn't up major. The Community Center 2, again, the former youth center, there will be some demoing of walls. That the footprint will change in Community Center 2. Community Center 1, the footprint basically remained the same. So in this one here, like in Community Center 2, again, the former youth center, the bathroom there have a huge ADA compliancy issue, so we have to blow out the entire restroom and redesign the restroom to fit ADA compliancy. We did not have to do that in Community Center 1, you see? And so there's a lot of walls that are being torn down, walls that are being put up. And again, like City Manager Simmons said, we have to, because of it being the EOC, we have to put some emergency generator wiring in there to prepare for if we have to activate the EOC. There's going to be $350,000 worth of tech going in there as well. And so that's why it's substantially a little bit more than Community Center 1.
What's this building called?
City Council Chambers.
Can we just call it either City Council Chambers or Junior? I'm still advocating for that.
Yes.
All right, any other questions? All right, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll have that done
Maybe
middle of December. I want
January.
I want my plaque.
Please do not kill my ace yet.
All right. Okay, and the next one, item B, Master Services and Purchasing Agreement between Exxon Enterprise for Police Department body-worn cameras.
So this is obviously falls under the PD, so the chief will be able to answer any direct questions you have about it. But I did want to point out something that talks to why experience is important. When I first arrived here, and in my first, probably second or third conversation with the chief, was adamant that we were going to do body-worn cameras immediately. The chief sold me on a more deliberative process where we actually went in and ensured that we had the infrastructure to actually take advantage of having body-worn cameras and the different technological things that it can do. By proposing to do it the way that he did, we we actually now have the ability to tie into the DA with our evidence, to have all of these things time-stamped and to have them be easily found and transmitted to the places we need to have them without a whole lot of work being done on staff's end in order to make the system work. So again, instead of racing right to the finish line, by taking the building blocks and building them up slowly, the chief has provided a good system, and this is the final step of implementing that system. So, thank you, Chief.
Good evening. Let's see. So the main, I'm going to have Captain Gallagher go into detail about the actual proposal itself and what it includes, but I just wanted to speak first for some context as it relates to body-worn camera and the Los Alamitos Police Department in Orange County. So we are the last remaining police department in Orange County that does not have body-worn cameras. So I think the value of the cameras has been well established, being that they've been in our industry for so many years now, for the ability to protect us against complaints, for civil liability reasons should we be involved in a shooting or major use of force. So my recommendation to the council would be to consider to approve them so that we can get on board with what the rest of the county is as far as best practices go in relation to police work and the use of body-worn cameras. And I'll have Captain Gallagher go ahead and take over to present the proposal itself.
Thank you, Chief. Yes, just to reiterate what the city manager and chief said, body-worn cameras really has become the industry standard, not just for obvious transparency reasons, but also to make sure that we're filing good cases with the DA's office, having video backup to talk about what the observations of the officers are seeing, and creating good cases to go forth, which are helping to protect our citizens, is extremely valuable. As the chief mentioned, we're, I believe, the last agency in Orange County to not have body-worn cameras. The district attorney's office has created a portal to allow digital evidence to be submitted through their main company called Axon as evidence.com. By going with Axon for the body-worn cameras, we are already integrating into a system that we currently use with the DA's office to submit that evidence. It is by far the leading body-worn camera company in the nation right now. It's, like we said, the industry standard. They have a absolutely amazing product that our officers are both familiar with. We have tested body-worn cameras in the past. Interestingly enough, not only did the officers truly enjoy the ability to go back and view the video of the call that they just interacted with so that they can produce accurate and detailed documents, but they also started noticing that the public, as they interacted with them, were a lot more cooperative when they realized that they were being video recorded. So it really was kind of a win both ways. I've spoken with our officers who are thrilled about the opportunity to finally utilize this technology to make our department a little bit more up to speed and better, and holding both our officers and the public accountable. But also part of this contract goes into updating our TASER program. Back in 2006 or 2007, our police department implemented the tasers, which was obviously a less than lethal option so that our officers have more tools so that we could use the least amount of force as possible to try to resolve a situation. The tasers have been incredibly useful nationwide as well as at our department, which started off with what was the X26. It was a 2003 model. I believe somewhere around 2011, 2012, we transitioned to the newer model, which was the X2. That came out in 2011, which we currently use now. Since then, technology has progressed quite a bit with taser technology, including multiple probes, getting better contacts, the battery life lasting longer, the usability, the functionality of it has progressed quite a bit. And when they came out with new versions in 2013, which was the X26P, and the Taser 7 in 2018, we skipped over those. We're still using the 2011 model. This contract that the chief negotiated would bring us up to the 2023 model, which is the Taser 10, which is the newest standard that most agencies are using. And it also comes with virtual training. It allows, it gives us a product that we get virtual glasses and simulated gun and Glock so that we can actually put officers into live situations to see how they react, which obviously is a much better way to train our officers as opposed to just talking through scenarios, watching videos. Let's put them in the situation and see how they react to it. It's a much safer environment to make mistakes and learn from them there, obviously, than it is out on the street. Per our Muni Code 2.60.140D, we did a piggyback on contract, reached out to Axon, and the chief secured a quote for a 5-year plan. This plan includes the use of updated tasers, body-worn cameras, and the virtual training. Over the 5 years, comes out to a total of just over $344,000, which breaks down to, I believe it's roughly about $68,000 and change a year over the course of 5 years. Halfway through, since we're leasing the equipment, it actually allows for, at the 2.5-year mark, any new technology that comes into effect during that time, which we know with technology happens very frequently. They actually upgrade us with whatever the latest technology is, making sure that we're staying up to speed with what the latest products that they have is. Clearly, when you look at these numbers versus the potential of a lawsuit because we don't have video to back up our officers' observations as to why they use the force, seems like a wise investment.
And if I could add one more thing. So the utilization of body-worn cameras has been in effect so long that now juries expect to see video on trials, and they may be a little reluctant with their verdicts depending on why we don't have them, and we're the only agency in Orange County that would not be able to have them. And the last point is that as time goes on, as the city manager mentioned with construction, the same happens with technology. The prices are just going to continue to go up, and this would lock us in for the 5 years, and the upgrade halfway through the contract is already built in, so that it wouldn't cost us anything when we receive those upgrades.
Okay.
I had a couple of just clarifying questions. If we say go tonight, how long does this take to implement?
So they actually have the product built and ready to go. Once we say we're good to go, they could literally ship these things out this week. Now, for there to be a rollout for officers to start using this equipment is going to take a little more time because not only do we have to train them, we need to meet and confer with the POA regarding certain things like can they view the video after a major use of force before they write the report or give a testimony or a statement. Those are things that we would work with our association through.
So it'd be just like a side letter to the MOU?
I don't know that it would be a side letter since it would be affected not the MOU but our actual policy.
Okay.
We would actually have to incorporate a body-worn camera policy that we do not currently have.
Gotcha, okay.
And I've spoken with the city attorney about taking a look at that as soon as possible. I could
Okay.
get it to him later this week if you guys were to approve the measure tonight.
Okay.
I also do think that the upside here is that this is largely now something that everybody, first of all, expects and wants. And so I believe that we'd be able to cross that bridge fairly quickly.
Well, and it's just, it continues to align with our Measure Y oath
Exactly.
of public safety, and this just seems to be a no-brainer. The question on the 5-year lease, so what happens after the 5 years? Do we own those? Can we renew? How does that?
So typically what would happen at that time is we would have a free upgrade halfway through. Then at the 5-year mark, we would negotiate a new contract for another 5, and that would of course include us getting another upgrade at that time.
At that 5-year mark?
Correct.
And then at the 7.5-year mark?
Correct.
Okay.
We would negotiate that each time before going into a new contract. And I made sure I clarified that with him, that is the typical standard of what happens with these contracts.
Okay. And I'm a little confused because this is in construction. What's a 10% contingency plan on hardware? I don't understand what that is. Oh, don't stump the police officer.
Something that we talked about throughout this process is that while this contract seems to be all-encompassing, and they talk about giving us upgrades to stay up with the latest technology, we also can anticipate that there isn't a new type of technology that may not be covered into this. And if it falls within 10% and allows us to utilize that latest technology to stay up with the latest and greatest.
Okay, so it's a contingency if new technology comes in that we have the money, we don't have to come back
Correct.
for more. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Any other questions here?
I got three.
Uh-oh.
So the first question is the insurance included for these body worn cameras? Like if there's a malfunction or if one of them gets damaged or whatever the case may be, is that part of the price that we pay? or is that
Without
the
question,
extra?
it'll be replaced immediately. And we also have a contingency of a couple extra cameras in case one goes down, that we could replace it immediately, take the bad one, ship it, and they would send us a new one.
Now, does that count if it's user error? Like, say there's a scuffle and it gets broken or?
You're supposed to be able to drive over these things with a car and they still be able to work, so I think we're good.
They even take it to the next level where once you tell them that you have a damaged device, before they even receive it, they send you one.
Oh, okay. My next question is, what actually triggers the camera turning on, or is it perpetually on?
It's not perpetually on. It works similar to like a DVR on your TV where it's recording over itself. You can set the amount of time that you want it to be able to go back once you activate it to say, okay, once I hit this button, I want to start capturing the video that started 30 seconds before that. It's called a pre-record. And we can set how long that goes back. It gets activated several different ways. It can be activated by the user pressing a button on the device itself, which gives them an audible and vibrating tone to let them know that the camera is activated, as well as a red light. It can also be activated with our taser holsters. So once a taser comes out, it will automatically activate the device. There's other functionalities where we can hook it up to the handgun holster or the code 3 lights and sirens of our vehicles. And it works through a signal device. So if there are 3 officers in a major incident and only one taps their body, the fact that they're all within like 50 feet of each other, it will automatically record all of their, it will activate all of their cameras.
Because they're in proximity to one
Yeah,
another?
yes. You might have somebody who, without warning, is now in a fist fight and doesn't have time to say, stop, let me activate my camera. But somebody coming up to it has enough time to hit it. Well, now we have the recording of both the officer that's in the fight and the person that's leading up to it.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand, because, the videos that I see are like on Instagram. So, and I know sometimes people would prefer that they not be recorded, so I'm just wondering what triggers them. So that's interesting that they trigger off one another. Okay, very cool. And then I had, my third one is, because this is connected to the DA, like automatically this is who they utilize. What happens if they move away from Axon? Or are they in some longer contract
If
that's
who
longer
moves
than
away
everything?
from
So if,
Axon?
because this feeds to the district attorney, right?
So the DA is not associated with Axon, right? So they will, there are other companies other than Axon that are utilized within the county that the DA works with. It's just Axon is the one company that has had seamless issues with providing digital evidence to them without any issues. Other companies, when they've had issues, have had to record them on the disc and then have somebody take the disc down to the DA's office. Axon has not had that issue.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was connected to the DA, but it's not, it's just, okay, cool, all right.
Any other questions?
I hate that.
Okay.
I've done that.
I'm curious,
That hurts.
what's the
Use your mic.
resolution and frame rate of these cameras?
I don't know if it's in his paperwork, but I don't have that off the top of my head.
I've done it.
That's something I can research to get for you, but I just don't know
Non-standard
it.
def, high def?
Oh, yeah, it's,
I'm
I'm
assuming.
waiting to see if it's inside the paperwork there.
Okay, while he's looking at that, does the contract also include the storage of the video footage?
Yes, so it's unlimited storage and it's all stored in the cloud.
Okay. And about, like, how many cameras do you think would be running on an average shift?
If we're at,
Max? 4?
well, you figure 4 would be on day watch. If we're at full capacity plus a motor, you could have a couple detectives on duty at any given time, so under 10
6, okay, a
at
day,
worst case scenario, correct.
okay.
I can get that information for you, we just don't have it at our disposal.
Is that it? And just another quick, can the officer turn off his camera if he wants to?
Yes, they possess the ability to turn off, because obviously they'll be utilizing the restroom and other things when they potentially have these on them. So,
I wasn't thinking, yeah. I
What if
watched,
they go at the same time, though? Does it automatically turn on if you guys go at the same time? He said if you're all in proximity, I'm sorry.
if we were to
No,
turn
if
the
it-
camera on when you went into the restroom, yes, but I don't think anyone will
Well,
be
no, he
turning the
said
camera
if you're in
on.
proximity of one another, it
If
will
one of you
automatically
turns the
turn on.
camera on
Yeah,
and you're within proximity of somebody who does not have it on, it will trigger their camera. If we stand next to each other and neither one of us have it on, it's not gonna turn on.
So I think I know what you're saying, and to clarify, there is a override button, a privacy button. So when you go into the bathroom, even if something happens in the hallway and they activate their camera, the person that's in the restroom who has hit the override button, it will not turn on.
I'm just trying to make sure y'all are protected, okay?
Appreciate
Okay.
Chief,
But
sorry.
There's not, like, if they're in a tussle, somebody else can't turn off. I watch a lot of Facebook videos and cop shows, so that's where I'm getting my information. It's much better than Instagram, but anyway, totally better. But is there any way where somebody would be able to hit their chest or something where it would turn off, or is that button to turn off more concealed?
So they would have to double tap the device, not single to hit it once. So I think that would be very difficult. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it would be
Right.
difficult to do just during a tussle.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, another question. Going back to the policy that we had talked about, that obviously we don't have one right now. What are some cities, either in Orange County or nearby, that you might be familiar with their body cameras that you think would be a good template for us to model?
So we wouldn't utilize one from another city. We are a customer of Lexipol, who creates defensible policies in our industry for all of the cities that contract with them. So they have the framework for the policy in place. We would just go through and make any modifications that are specific to our agency. So with these cameras, there are no less than 10 to 20 different features that you can pay additional money to have it do. Ours is a base plan with a minimal number of features. So some of those features may be referenced in the policy or may not be referenced, that we may need to add or remove. But the basic framework that is already legally defensible is already created in Lexipol. We would just go in there, modify it, implement it into our policies, and then send it out for everyone to review and accept.
It's good. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
I actually found an answer to your question, ma'am. It says that the Body 3 records 30 frames per second at 720 HD and 1080, so all in high def.
Okay. Thank you.
And with that, can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
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 All right. And number 5, adjourned until November
17th.
17th at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much.